Now, another program that we expected to be aggressive this offseason after the season that they had, and they've had success in the portal in the past. Florida State with a big get in Duce Robinson coming over from USC. This is a guy who was considered the number 5 player in the transfer portal. You're getting a physical beast here, 6'6", 220 pounds. Was a big recruit coming out of high school a couple years ago. Played the last couple years at USC and had some solid showings, right, where you see flashes of that athletic ability. In 2023 was 5th in the country in yards per reception with 21. So big playability. A guy who, is he a receiver? Is he a tight end? He plays baseball as well. Mike Norvell had a lot of success with Johnny Wilson a couple years ago when he came over from Arizona State, when he was kind of considered damaged goods. So Duce Robinson, big time upside potential, and a guy who has played, right? We're not talking about a guy who was a big recruit and just couldn't get on the field at USC.
Yeah, a great question here from Canes Cat asking how much this had to do with baseball as well. The FSU beat writers I asked didn't mention him practicing or being around the baseball team during the season. Yeah, I didn't hear much about him as a baseball prospect for FSU purposes. Of course, Link Jarrett, top 10 program in the country right now. He didn't play a ton for USC. Just looking at it, he had about 6 at-bats. Although, of course, he was a very highly touted prospect coming out, considered a draftable baseball prospect, top 100 type of guy, played in the Under Armour game, both for baseball and football. But, I mean, this guy's just an athlete. He has highlights with between the legs dunks in the gym, but football is where he makes his name. There you see FSU legacy, sporting the jersey when he was young. His dad, Dominic Robinson, was a wide receiver and point returner from 2001 to 2004, 680 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, 321 receiving yards for his dad. But with Duce, watching him, even though he's a bigger receiver and you think contested catch all the way, which you can do, he really did most of his damage, I thought, after the catch, being explosive. He can run very well. He's a chunk play machine when it came to what he did at USC. Look at the freshman year, 16 catches, 351 yards, 21.09 yards per catch as a freshman. So this guy was going downfield. This year, 396 yards, 5 touchdowns, 74 grade from PFF, which is high for someone who didn't get a ton of action. Only dropped 1 out of 25 balls that were catchable. And what people like about him, too, the blocking. There you see it. FSU, I thought, lacked a certain toughness and competitiveness this year, really at all positions. And when your receivers are physical and block and care about it, especially in a team like this, USC, where there are a lot of good receivers and he didn't maybe get the love and the targets that he thought he deserved, he's still blocking. So I think that mentality is going to help FSU. I do expect his targets to go up. You look at when FSU was rolling under Mike Norvell, the running game was very hard to defend, with the quarterback being also a running threat. And then you had tall receivers, the Johnny Wilsons of the world, the Keon Colemans, who could make contested catches. That is what FSU really killed you with, both in 2023 and 2022. Look at Mike Norvell. He's got 6'7" Jordan Scott, now 6'5" Tariq Mallory, 6'4" Tayshawn Gelsey, of course, Duce Robinson, and then look at the tight end room, really nice young players with Amari Williams and Landon Thomas. So they have size all over the place at receiver. Maybe the dynamic speed and explosiveness, you don't see it there, but that might be by design. They did not really have that when they did go on that run and win the ACC championship. So it seems like Norvell's getting a little bit closer to his roots at FSU. Tough running game to defend, athletic quarterback, throw it up to these big receivers. Although with Duce, I don't think it's just going to be, contested catches. This guy has some juice. He has some separation. He had some of the best mile per hour times on USC's team. So, he can get going and get out there. Come from Phoenix, Arizona, former top 20 prospect. There you see the baseball swing. I mean, just a big physical guy. This is someone I think has still got upside. The kind of guy you want to get from the portal, right? Good character, good pedigree, good upside. Last year, you kind of got away from that a little bit to me in terms of, you got guys, you were just stacking talent, guys that were former or perceived talent, guys that were former 5 stars who hadn't played and maybe, didn't always put forth the effort that you wanted to see. Of course, Marvin Jones has since moved on. You got Earl Little out there. I think here with this move. Yes, former 5-star, but this is someone who did play at USC and exhibited a lot of the competitive tendencies that you want at the position, but still has upside.
Yeah, I think if you're a Florida State fan, you have to be thrilled about this pickup. And look, they wanted him out of high school as well. So for them to be able to get him a couple years later here, got to be a good feeling for the Seminole fans.